When you're out here idling around looking for structure offshore on your side imaging, you can see right now I've got my screen set up where it's looking both ways. So this is the middle of my boat. I'm looking 180 feet right, 180 feet left. But a cool feature that Humminbird added a couple of years ago is a split screen. So I've got a split screen here and I can make the top half look left and the bottom half look right. So what that's doing, I've got a 12-inch screen right now and I'm looking at 360 feet on 12 inches. So if I've got my shortcut button set to my top and bottom view. So now I'm looking at 180 feet on 12 inches. So I've got so much more detail. You can see the difference in the detail. Like right here, this is the rock, this is a rock vein on a drop off right here. You can tell this is soft bottom and then it's coming up on the hard bottom, the slope, and there's a rock edge right on that slope where it breaks off flat and goes up to the bank. So when I've got this little bit of detail, I mean, I can kind of tell what it is, but if I go to my split screen and look over here, I can really see in detail each individual rock down through there. Right there's a little lay down log, and I've got rock right on that edge right there by being able to utilize that split screen and being able to see, you know, just in more detail by using the split screen. And like I said, that's a feature Humminbird came out with probably 3 or 4 years ago. And that just allows you to scan a wider area and keep the same detail as you would if you could just use this screen. So just idling around. That's the whole key to offshore fishing, is not being afraid to sit on your butt and idle around and, you know, look for that little piece of structure. Like right now we're coming up on a point. You can see how the bank turned out there. A lot of rock on that edge right there. So now we're coming up on the top of this point here. And you can see it's just scattered with small rocks. And that's what the little black spots you're seeing, that's the shadow that rock's casting. You can look over here on this side, there's some big boulders out on the end of this point. And see that boulder right there, that particular one, stands off the bottom probably 6 or 8 feet. And you can tell that by the length of the shadow it's casting. If you can picture your side imaging as 2 flashlights going out, that's what the beam's looking like. So that beam hits that rock from the side, and as it continues on, it leaves a void on the other side, so you know how tall that particular piece of structure is. So this one rock and this rock here stick up off the bottom 4 or 5 feet, versus these smaller rocks are probably only a foot or so off the bottom, just small boulders, probably basketball size. And that one there is probably the size of, you know, the hood of your truck, and sticks up off the bottom. So if I was gonna pull up on this point, I would go to my menu here and I would select my upper screen, make it active, and I would scroll my cursor over here and I would put a waypoint on this one particular rock, and that's the only one I would waypoint because it stands up taller. It's different from everything surrounding it. So that's your high percentage cast. So I put a mark there, I've got my waypoint created, and now when I hit my shortcut key here and go to my map, I've got my waypoint right here, and I can turn around and line up to hit that one big rock that sticks up higher than the rest of the rocks around, because that's where your fish should be. That's your high percentage point. That's where you want to make your first cast on that particular piece of structure. Here we are, we've got out off the bank, just kind of out in the middle of the lake, if you will, and you can see actually a school of bait right here, and you see these smaller dots around it, which to me, I think that's probably perch or some kind of fish that's feeding on this bait. I don't think it's bass because it's pretty small, but you can actually see that ball of bait right there. You see the little dots in the black there, and that's fish. And if I go over here to this view and hit my down scan, you can see the actual balls of bait there.
It's Mike Iaconelli. This is Bass U TV.
Here's what's awesome about Bass U TV.
You get the top instructors.
Real tools that help you catch more fish consistently.
And that's why you want to check out Bass U TV.
Join the Bass U family.
Welcome to Bass U TV.